All right. As you probably already heard, the Carolina Panthers are adding running back Rashad Penny to a running back room that's getting very crowded very quickly. Penny is a former first round pick by the Seattle Seahawks. He spent last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. Couldn't really carve out a role for himself in that backfield. So moves on to free agency. And here he's getting picked up by the Panthers. Not sure what this is going to look like for the Panthers. They just drafted Jonathan Brooks in the second round of the draft. They signed Miles Sanders last offseason. Chuba Hubbard really just solidified himself as really running back one for this team last year. He had a very productive season. Looked like he really found his footing in the NFL for the first time for real since the Panthers drafted him in what 2020 was that. So and then you have Raheem Blackshear, a good special teams player, good return man, good third down back, can catch the ball out of the backfield on screen. So he brings value to the table as well. So it's not just the names you know. Raheem Blackshear is a good back too. So you're looking at five guys who are, viable options as running backs in the NFL. So you have to start wondering what's going on here because there's just too many guys on this roster. The math's not mathing right now. It seems as though somebody is about to either get cut or traded. Um, and most people would probably agree the name that makes the most sense there is going to be Miles Sanders. The Panthers just gave him a big contract last offseason, and that has not worked out well for either party. He has not been able to find a role in the field, and the team's been very disappointed with how little he's contributed. Um, Going back to the Frank Reich coaching staff that brought him in and was very high on him. Deuce Staley being the main character who comes to mind when you think about when they brought him in. He was very high on Miles Sanders. They had a history together, and he was one of his guys. He wanted to bring him in, and it just has not worked out. So, with the speculation in mind that we're talking about, I started brainstorming some teams that might make sense. I thought about the Patriots. They don't have a ton behind Ramondre Stevenson from an outsider's perspective. I could be wrong on that. But the team that made the most sense to me when I was looking at their depth chart was the Dallas Cowboys. You're talking about an aging Ezekiel Elliott. If I was a Cowboys fan, I would not be too thrilled about the idea of hitching the franchise to a running back who's clearly not, the franchise great type of player that he once was. No offense to him. He's just getting older. We saw it last year. He's just not quite the same guy. Rico Dowdle, he's an okay running back. He's probably right where he's supposed to be as a running back too. Deuce Vaughn, explosive player, exciting player, but he's very small. He's not going to handle the ball 20, 25 times a game like you may need your running back one to do. And it just makes sense to me for an NFC East reunion here with Miles Sanders, the former Eagle, joining the Dallas Cowboys. I Miles Sanders honestly was not very good last year, but I have to think if you're a Cowboys fan, the idea of Miles Sanders sounds better than what you have. We know the Cowboys were very high on Jonathan Brooks, and we're probably going to draft him right there at the same time that the Panthers did. But the Panthers made the trade to come up, jump the Dallas Cowboys, and take Jonathan Brooks. So maybe this could be a twist of fate in which these two teams work something out where as the Panthers ended up with a running back the Cowboys wanted, maybe they could give something back to the Cowboys in return and work out a trade for Miles Sanders. I don't know, man. This is just some speculation on my end. Let me know your thoughts. If you're not a Panthers fan, let me know your thoughts. Where do you think Miles Sanders could end up?